Web3 games have quickly pushed game economies to the forefront of players' minds when evaluating the latest releases. Now more than ever, the need for a well-balanced game economy is critical to any project's future. Machinations is a visual tool specifically built for creating and testing game economies. As a Turing-complete system, the 11 objects allow us to simulate any type of game logic. Let's first have a look at the challenges that Web3 game developers are facing. Here we have an abstract view of the typical core game loop. The player completes an action in the game, they are rewarded, the player then has the opportunity to reinvest these rewards in the game. This could be in the form of unlocking the next level, receiving an amazing new sword, or upgrading the character stats. In Web3 projects, we are adding a new path for players that enables them to exchange some of their in-game rewards with other players. Rather than just thinking about one player's progression, games will have lots of these individual progression systems happening at the same time. As new players join at different times, we can end up with a complex combination of different player economies at different stages all the time. These players can now interact with each other through marketplaces and token exchanges to sell their items or even cash out. Players can also buy items via these marketplaces, adding further complexity for game designers to manage. Now, one player's activity can impact every other player in the system, as well as external influences of changes in the cryptocurrency marketplaces. Machinations are now working with Web3 game developers to enable them to test their game economies before launch, and then consistently monitor their economies for signs of instability. This allows developers to make small, well-tested changes to the game economy to maintain stability well before they get caught in runaway inflation or deflation.
Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, John Jordan. So in this video I'm going to have a quick look at the white paper for Castle Crush that has just been released. So Castle Crush even, is a game that's live, a mobile game live in the app stores already. Been live for a while actually, from a developer called Wildlife Studios, originally out of Brazil, now has various offices in the US. It's a sort of very sort of simple lane-based sort of attack defense game where each side has a castle and you sort of spawn these characters that are based around sort of cards, and they each have a mana point, and you have a certain amount of mana, and you basically just try and destroy the other person's castle. So pretty straightforward sort of genre. What's interesting is this is a normal, traditional, we could call it traditional mobile game that is going to have blockchain fitted to it. Now that's always a little bit difficult, but I think if you go through the white paper, there's some explanation of why they're going to do it. Obviously, some other questions as well, but so it's been a whole bunch of downloads, 75 million downloads. That's pretty impressive. This shows you what the gameplay looks like. So basically, these are your cards, and as your mana goes up, you can sort of launch these cards into these three lanes, and the sort of characters attack each other. Obviously, all have different sort of attributes in terms of attack and range and health points and all that sort of stuff. So that's how it works. And games happen pretty quickly, a few minutes at best. That's the characters. They sort of explain about how the game works. And you can level cards up, of course. There are clans, right? And there are tournaments and stickers, right? So we're going to add blockchain to this existing game. So what's interesting here is, I guess, this bit here, difficult to see there. So there are about 200,000 DAUs, about 40,000, so, a fairly small percentage of those. But basically, there's 40,000 players, they say, play this game competitively. Competitively means they are playing it a lot, and they're probably spending quite a lot of money to get ranked on the leaderboards and earn all these sort of in-game rewards, which are not on the blockchain at the moment. So obviously, if you're adding blockchain stuff, that is stuff like NFTs, that is stuff like reward tokens, and that's going to appeal basically to your existing hardcore fan base who's already paying money and not really getting anything out of it apart from sort of a bit of prestige within the game. But you can sort of hopefully, I guess from their point of view, they'll have more people getting involved with this. Now there's blockchain, but this 40,000 sort of core to what they're trying to do. So it's going to have NFTs. So basically, the very high level sort of characters you can get are going to exist as NFTs, and there's going to be these Ascension crystals as well, which is effectively the blockchain token, cryptocurrency. So it doesn't mention it here at all, I don't think, but this is running on the Avalanche blockchain. That's the plan. So these Ascension crystals are going to go live May, June 2022. Players will get these crystals from in-game daily rewards, season rewards, other in-game activities such as tournaments. So basically, you play the game, and the more skilled you are, the more of these things you're going to earn. There's going to be 1 billion of them. And 80% are going to be for players. There's going to be some for marketing, some for liquidity, people buying and selling them on exchanges, and the development team gets 5% as well. So obviously, like every cryptocurrency, these tokens will end up with some sort of dollar value, real money value attached to them. You'll be able to cash them out. And there's a minting schedule here, so they're not all available over time. It's actually over a 5-year period. These things will be made available, pretty standard. We have these cards, NFTs. So cards will be able to be ascended. So basically, you'll have these in-game cards, and if you level them up enough, they become NFTs. They get minted. So we can see the regular levels of the cards. So there's different rarities of cards, obviously, and this is their regular rarity. You can forge them to a high level within the game, and then you can ascend them even higher. So these are going to be, you have to spend quite a lot of time, probably some money, leveling these up. Okay, let's go through all this. Blah blah blah. So Ascension Points, how you earn the tokens, are actually you're earning these Ascension Points in the game. So there's like an internal sort of system, ranking system, and depends on the more ascended cards you have and the better quality cards you have, then the more of these AP coins you're going to get, and the more sort of bonuses you're going to get. This is the way of working out. So it says here, if a player has a base ascended legendary NFT, and she's a grandmaster and part of a clan, and she'll be earning 12 AP points on that day. So basically, the more embedded you are in the game, the more you're getting sort of multiplied bonuses and stuff like that. So obviously, the whole point of bringing blockchain into these sort of games is to really give rewards to your most engaged players. So you want to make sure you're not giving this away to people who are not really playing the game. Certainly, that's more for. Certainly, you think you want to do that more for existing games. Maybe if you're launching new games, it's a little bit different, but probably actually not not that much different. I think we're seeing, from Axie Infinity, if you just give away lots of tokens every day, you can get a lot of players, but if people just selling this stuff off all the time, you have problems balancing your economy. So this is going through again how the Ascension Points feed through from into the token prize pool. Not going to go through that in detail. Seasonal rewards, so playing into that sort of stuff. So the ascended cards will be available through chests. So that's really how the monetization works at the moment. One of the levels of monetization is you buy these chests, or you can earn chests. So those will be how these NFTs are created. And then there will be doesn't really mention it very much. I don't think it says if there is a peer-to-peer marketplace. I'm sure there will be, but it doesn't. I don't think it really mentions that very much. There's these founder cards again, so these are sort of like an early adopter sort of situation that will give you sort of extra rewards, governance privileges, voting rights. It's sort of interesting to see this stuff being added into an existing game that hasn't had that before. I'm a little bit skeptical about if every game needs a DAO sort of thing. But I guess that's if it doesn't work, I suppose I'll take it out. The other thing is there's a treasury. Again, this is something we see a lot in blockchain games. There's an idea of a whole bunch of token value gets attached to sort of the game, and part of the sort of DAO and the governance and all that sort of stuff is that it has some sort of treasury attached to it, that money that can be used for various ways of making the game better, or getting more players in, or marketing, or whatever. So there is a treasury that's going to get 20% of primary sales, and 100% of secondary sale royalties, of which is 4%. So there is peer-to-peer marketplace trading here. It doesn't really mention it, but it mentions it sort of indirectly here. So the treasury is going to have a bunch of funds in it, and that's the end of the white paper. So in a sense, this white paper, it's interesting to see. It's pretty heavy-duty blockchain stuff in here, which is interesting, given that this is being retrospectively fitted to a existing traditional game that doesn't have anything like this at all. Lots of questions sort of arising. Is this going to be? Are you going to be able to access this through the mobile client? Are App Store's going to allow that? I probably think the answer is no. And there is going to be a PC version of the game as well. So obviously you can build blockchain into that natively, but probably they're going to need a web interface. Most of their players, all their players at the moment, are playing on mobile, so they're going to need a mobile web interface for people who are going to want to do that. So quite a lot of obstacles. They're not mentioning anything about the Avalanche blockchain, They've not mentioned anything about how wallets, whether they're going to have custodial wallets built into it, which means you don't have the keys, whether they're going to allow people with Avalanche wallets to sort of connect through that. You can use MetaMask. You could use the mobile MetaMask wallet set up for the Avalanche blockchain to do that, but that's a bit fiddly, blah, blah, blah. So lots of questions still to come, but this is, I would say, quite a bullish sort of representation of what of sort of blockchain features. I would expect this in a new game. This would be the sort of thing we'd see in a white paper for a new game that's going to be a blockchain native game. But this is not that. This is a traditional game. The blockchain stuff's being added to. So I think that I'll be definitely interested to see. In fact, I am already playing Castle Crush to see if I could get to a high enough level to actually get involved in the NFTs when they come in May and June. We'll see how that happens. But I think it's always very interesting to see how existing game companies look to add blockchain. There's no right or wrong, I don't think. But everyone's trying to learn how it works. So we'll see. Anyway, keep it here. Please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and see you again soon.